Right, so Arsenal. Arsenal played against Manchester City, and it didn't go well, honestly. But to be fair, it was kind of the result that I expected, and as a loss to Man City goes, it wasn't that bad. But we'll get into that. Let's look at my takeaways from this game. Let's start off with Arsenal, and one of the big things that I noticed was that we were using Petr Cech way too much. It seemed that we were relying on him to reset our possession, and it nearly cost us on a couple of occasions. I'm not sure whether that was due to our tactical setup or whether it was due to the fact that Man City shaped up and pressed quite well. But it'd be interesting to see how that goes on going forward. But for me, I don't think that's a good idea at all. Maybe Leno might be a bit better at it, I'm not sure. But either way, I don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. Guendouzi, another talking point. Whilst he's not the best defensive player, he got stuck into everything. He did not hide away at all. He made sure that he was involved, and he won the ball back quite a few times actually, and always looking to make that transition from defense to attack quite quickly. Very proactive player. I really like what I've seen of him so far. Obviously he's very, very young, but he does look the business, and I can see him becoming a regular first teamer throughout the course of this season. And I would be happy about that. Very, very happy about that. For me, he's a level above El Neni. I think I'd be happy him replacing Xhaka and putting Torreira in there. Yeah, I like what he has to offer this team. He's clearly got an eye and a knack for that deep line playmaking role as well, and it's something that he'll continue to grow into with some good coaching. Of course, it's not just going to happen. He's going to have to be coached into that and study the game and learn the art himself. But I think as a player, he's got that. He's got the attributes. He's clearly got the eye for it. He's got the mindset. And more performances like today. I mean, he came up against the best team in England by some distance, and he didn't hide away. Those midfielders there were levels for him, and he didn't show them any respect at all. He got in there. He said, "Listen, this is my game. I'm taking control of this if I can," and I love that from a midfielder. And over the coming days and weeks, we're going to get those Fabregas comparisons. It's going to come, and obviously that is a massive compliment for any footballer, any midfielder, especially a young one coming through the ranks. Personally, I think it's maybe a bit too early for those comparisons, but I definitely see positive similarities between them, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the sort of player that Guendouzi could be. Another promising youngster, Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He was unlucky to pick up an early injury, but he looked very, very good on the ball. He looked composed. He also looked aggressive, which was good as well. Obviously playing out of position. He's not a left back at all. I look forward to him getting some chances in midfield, because I think as a defensive midfielder or even a centre mid, I feel like his attributes, his mindset, his approach to the game is going to serve him well. I think he's a very, very good player, very, very talented, and hungry as well. We say that about a lot of young players, but you can see the hunger in his game, and he processes that and he uses that well. It's not just, flying into things, just, headless chicken sort of hunger. He's smart, he's an intelligent footballer, but he wants this. I would say Maitland-Niles got that unlucky injury, but Lichtsteiner came on, and what a great signing he's going to be. He brings what we need in this team. It's not just experience, it's not just the aggression, it's not just that physicality. He's still a very, very good player. I don't know how we got him for free. I mean, obviously Juventus have got a wealth of quality at their club, but the fact that we got Lichtsteiner for free, and he is probably our best defender if we're looking through the ranks. I'd say he's probably our best player across that back line. Definitely was today, clearly. And yeah, I'm very, very happy with him. A top top quality defender, and we're gonna need him this season because our options at the back aren't amazing. So I think we're gonna need Lichtsteiner. On the flip side, Aaron Ramsey, not great. I'll be honest. In fact, I'm gonna be straight up. It was absolutely abysmal today. I think there's a stat being chucked up that he completed 5 passes all game. It's just not good enough, and I'm glad he got hooked. Absolutely, and I'll get onto Emery in a bit. I've got good things to say, to be fair. But yeah, I'm glad that he absolutely took Aaron Ramsey off and brought on Lacazette, who was really, really good. But Ramsey, he's got to look at himself today, look at that performance and say, I cannot do that again this season or ever. Like, that was absolutely abysmal from him. And Aaron Ramsey is a player that I quite like, but I was very, very disappointed in him today. Guendouzi showed him levels. He's got to be ashamed of himself. But yeah, we talk about Lacazette coming on, and he made so much difference when he came on. He was energetic. He seems to have got a little bit of that pace back that he had back in France. Obviously, he bulked up quite a lot when he joined Arsenal. Obviously, trying to prepare himself for the English League, and maybe bulked up a little bit too much and lost a lot of that pace, or at least a good chunk of it. He seems to have got that back. He seems to have found a nice balance where he can get stuck in, and he definitely did today. He did a good bit of that defensive work as well, coming back when we lost the ball and getting stuck in, not giving Manchester City's deep midfielders any time on the ball. Got stuck in, got some fouls given against him that weren't fouls. He was strong, he was bulky with it. I was absolutely delighted with Lacazette's contribution today. Unlucky not to get a goal, but yeah, very, very happy with him. I think he can definitely kick on a great season for us, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up as our top scorer. On the flip side, Aubameyang didn't have a great game today, I'll be honest. Again, a footballer that I really, really like. My sort of centre forward, definitely. But today didn't do well. I don't really like these kind of phrases, but he didn't get stuck in very much. I also don't think he's the guy for the left-hand side. I'd say probably prefer him out wide than Lacazette, but there are a few options. There were a few moments where it was clear that from the tactical standpoint, he wasn't necessarily doing what he was supposed to out wide, wasn't necessarily making the right runs. Obviously, both him and Lacazette are very much centre forwards. They have some of the attributes and abilities that would allow them to play in wide areas, but they are absolutely centre forwards. There were a couple of opportunities whilst we were attacking where Ozil would try and find him out wide, but he'd kind of take a step out wide and then just dart into the middle. And then by the time Ozil made that pass, it was just trickling out to nowhere. And those are things that he's going to have to get used to if he's going to be playing out on that left-hand side. If that's going to be a thing, that's something he's going to have to be coached into, and have to learn those runs and learn those patterns. But in general, his positioning today, I wasn't really happy with. Early on, obviously, Manchester City were controlling the game, and our only attacks or only attacking chances were coming from counter-attacks, and his positioning from those wasn't great. It was being very kind of two-dimensional. It was just kind of like, right, I'm going to sit on the shoulder here and just hope someone pokes it forward and then I'll make a run sort of thing. And against good defenders like Man City have got, you're going to have to be a bit smarter than that. They dealt with that right, they positioned themselves right, they stepped up at the right times to make that awkward, so that those passes and those opportunities weren't going to work if someone was just going to try and sit on the shoulder. And Aubameyang didn't really adjust or adapt to that, so something to work on. He didn't, for me, he didn't have a stinker, but he didn't have a great game. He could definitely do better. But it does also raise another issue of what's going to happen long term. I mean, ideally, I think with the squad that we've got, any coach is going to want to try and play Aubameyang and Lacazette. You could play them as a front two. We know Emery likes a front three, and he's unlikely to deviate from that. Although he does seem a bit more proactive and a bit more flexible than Arsene Wenger, but we'll get into that in a bit. But in the three, I think it's going to be hard playing Aubameyang and Lacazette together, purely for the reasons I stated. Obviously, you're going to have to shift one of them wide. I also think Lacazette will do the tactical side of being a wide forward better than Aubameyang would. I think both of them are still very much suited to playing down the middle. I would probably prefer Lacazette. If I had to pick just one of them to play on today's performance, I'm picking Lacazette. But it'll be interesting to see how Aubameyang's attributes fit into this system over the course of a season. Obviously, it's a new manager. Everything's new right now. We don't really know what to expect, what to build on from the club and that sort of thing. But it'll be interesting to see how they both go. I've been saying for years I'd love to see us play in a front two again. Aubameyang and Lacazette as a front two would absolutely be fantastic, with Özil behind, Mkhitaryan as an option as well. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. But not a terrible performance from Arsenal, if we're honest. We lacked a lot in the final third. But again, it's Man City. They don't give you a lot of chances. Definitely don't give you a lot of good chances. And, you know, we're not going to play Man City every week. It's fine. You know, obviously we'd like to get some points out of this today. But realistically, I expected us to lose. We didn't disgrace ourselves by any stretch. So it is what it is. Alright, let's get into Man City. Obviously, they are going to be very, very happy with their performance. In terms of individuals, wasn't a lot in terms of an individual performance, but as a team, they were fantastic. But let's get into some of the takeaways. Kyle Walker is, you know, fantastic. I'm glad I can finally admit it now that he's left Spurs. But yeah, he was brilliant today. He's continued his form from last season through the World Cup, where again he was very, very solid. And today he was, again, brilliant. He was running rampant down that right hand side. Obviously he had a lot of freedom with Maitland-Niles not being an actual left back. You know, he ran at him and gave him a headache. Really did, for the short time that he was on. Obviously that slowed down a little bit once Lichtsteiner came on, and you know, he did a very good job there. But Kyle Walker was still absolutely brilliant today, and he can be very, very happy with his performance. Raheem Sterling, my guy, and I hate he has to do it against us sometimes, but he looked phenomenal from the start, quite frankly. He had a very, very easy time against Bellerin and Guendouzi, particularly at the start of the game. Guendouzi got better as he went on, and there was a lot of back and forth between Guendouzi and Sterling, which I was happy to see from both players, actually. Both of them hungry for the ball, both of them really trying to take the game by the scruff for their team, and you know, keen to make things happen for you know, their respective sides. Fair to say Sterling will be happier with his day than Guendouzi, but yeah, a very, very good performance from Sterling. Deserved his goal. It was a well worked goal. You know, no one can take anything away from that. It wasn't put on a plate for him. It wasn't anything. He took that ball on the left. He cut inside. He beat two players, maybe three, and he finished it very, very well. Fair play to him. Talking of good goals, Bernardo, what a finish from him. And whilst he wasn't kind of like running the game like that, at least not in a big overt way, quietly he kept things ticking for Manchester City. He was key in, you know, them building their attacks. His movement off the ball, on the ball, it was very, very good. Cannot fault his performance at all today. And that finish, a lot of men are skying that. I'll be honest, a lot of very good footballers are skying that. I'm talking Rose, floodlights, all sorts. He's taken that technically perfect and, you know, put that into the top corner with a bit of room to spare as well. The fact that he managed to keep that down and on target, credit to him. credit to him. I could definitely see him making more starts if he keeps up performances like this. Mendy, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Mondi. He looks like he's been given an interesting role. I don't know if it was just today, maybe to capitalise on the fragilities in this Arsenal side, but it looks like he's been given that kind of Alaba / Marcelo role where he's obviously a fullback but then given a playmaking role when the team are on the ball. Either way, it worked well for him today, and I'll be interested in seeing him doing that going forward. Obviously not against Arsenal, because it works well. It helped to overload that midfield, and it's something that Pep Guardiola does actually quite a bit. He's done that throughout his career, particularly at Bayern. Obviously he's now doing it at Man City, where he gets his fullbacks, the sort of fullbacks that he likes will have those attributes where they can step into central areas and still hold their own. Obviously Philippe Lahm, Alaba, both having those attributes and those roles. Marcelo, obviously not a Guardiola player, but again those same sorts of attributes, and maybe he sees that in Mondi. It's not something I would have necessarily thought that he would have been the guy for, but he did today. He looked very, very comfortable, didn't look awkward at all. It's interesting to see how he's going to do that going forward. So my final takeaways from that are Arsenal have got a fair way to go, but it wasn't a bad performance. I feel like if we performed like that against a lot of other teams, we got a result today. It just happened to be Manchester City. Guendouzi is a player to invest in. Invest that time into him, invest that coaching, invest those minutes into that player. He's a real talent. I'm really, really happy with him. For me, he was probably our best player on the pitch today. Between him and I think Lichtsteiner deserves a shout, but Guendouzi was definitely our guy today. As for Man City, they're the team to beat again. Everyone's going to look at Liverpool this weekend, obviously getting that 4-0 win over West Ham. But that West Ham side, they were there to be rolled over, quite frankly. Liverpool's still obviously going to be most likely the biggest challenges to Manchester City, at least from what we've seen early on this season and in pre-season. But Man City are still the team to beat. For me, clear favourites for the title. They didn't really put a foot wrong today. And it's going to be hard to see again how teams are going to get the better of them. But that's it from me. Those are my football takeaways for the Arsenal versus Manchester City game. If you enjoyed it, give a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new around here. Until next time, take care of yourself. Peace.